There's a voice inside your head, and it sounds like you. It knows your past. It remembers every failure, and it never misses a chance to remind you who you should have been. It speaks in your tone, uses your memories, wears your face like a mask, so you believe it must be you. But here's the quiet truth most people never question. If this voice is really you, why does it hurt so much to hear it? This isn't just self-doubt, it's self-attack. And no amount of confidence or success can silence it because it doesn't feed on truth. It feeds on your attention. In this video, we won't just quiet the inner critic. We'll begin to uncover what fuels it through the lens of Eckhart Tolle's powerful teachings on presence. Because once you see the voice for what it is, you'll stop trying to fix yourself and start remembering who you were before the voice ever spoke. That's not healing, that's freedom. And it begins right here. Learning to spot the inner critic's voice. You can't silence what you haven't yet seen. The inner critic doesn't always show up as a harsh scream. Sometimes it sounds reasonable, calm, even helpful. Like a mentor with a sharp tongue, or a parent who only points out what's missing. It hides behind words like, "You should know better," "You're falling behind," "No one else struggles with this." But listen closely. Its voice always carries a trace of pressure, of urgency, of shame. And here's the catch, it always speaks in your voice, so you don't question it. That's why most people live under its rule, thinking it's their conscience, their ambition, their truth. But there's a way to spot it. Notice how it feels in your body. When that voice speaks, does your chest tighten? Do your shoulders rise? Does your breath go shallow? The truth is your body knows before your mind ever does. So here's your first act of freedom. Don't answer the voice. Just notice it. Label it. There's the critic. Because the moment you see it clearly, you're no longer inside its grip. You're watching it from the outside. And from here we take the next step once you've spotted the voice. Disidentify from the voice, using presence as your anchor. Now that you've seen the critic, you're ready for the shift. Not a fight, not an argument, a separation. Eckhart Tolle teaches that the voice in your head isn't the problem. Believing you are that voice is. So here's the practice. When the critic speaks, pause. Don't resist it. Just become aware of it. That tiny space between the voice and your awareness of it, that's your way out. Say to yourself, I see this thought, but I am not this thought. Because if you can observe the voice, then clearly you are the observer, not the attacker, not the accused. This is presence, the stillness behind the noise. And the more you rest in that space, the weaker the critic becomes, because it can't survive without your identification. You're no longer fueling it, you're watching it. And what you watch without feeding eventually fades. Next we go deeper, because behind the voice, there's a wound it's been guarding all along. Now comes the third step, bringing awareness to the pain body that voice reactivates every time it speaks. The inner critic doesn't speak in isolation. It awakens something in you, a tightness, a sting, a familiar heaviness that's older than the moment itself. Eckhart Tolle calls it the pain body, an emotional residue of past hurt stored in the body, waiting for a thought to set it off. And the inner critic? That's its favorite trigger. You hear a judgment like you're not enough, and suddenly you're drowning in shame, or spiraling into anxiety, or shrinking from the world without knowing why. This pain isn't just from now, it's from every time you felt rejected, unseen, unworthy. It lives beneath the surface, and the critic gives it a microphone. So instead of arguing with the voice, do this. Feel what it stirs. Where does it live in your body? Is it a knot in your stomach? A burning in your chest? A pressure behind your eyes? Don't run from it. Don't numb it. Just feel it fully, consciously, without naming it wrong. Because the moment you bring awareness to the pain, you interrupt the loop. And that's where we go next. The return to the body, it's your refuge when emotions rise. Now that you've felt the emotional charge, you need a place to return to. Not a thought, but a presence. When the critic rises, don't try to outthink it. Don't defend, don't explain. That's still the mind wrestling with itself. Instead, shift your attention down and in, to the breath, the rhythm in your hands, the weight of your body on the chair, the quiet hum of aliveness behind your ribs. This is the body's wisdom. And it's always here, beneath the story. When you rest your awareness in the body, you pull the plug on the critic's power. Why? Because the critic lives in mental time, past regrets, future worries. But your body, it only knows now. Even just 30 seconds of full presence, breathing, feeling, being, is enough to break the trance of thought. This isn't distraction. It's disconnection from the identity the critic feeds on. And in that space, something softer begins to emerge. Not silence, but something deeper than silence. And now, step 5, the most healing of all. Replace the inner attack with compassionate presence. Once the critic softens, there's a moment of stillness, a pause. And in that pause, you get to choose what fills the space. Don't rush to positive thinking. That's still the mind trying to fix itself. Instead, bring in something the critic can't understand. Compassionate presence. Not just kinder thoughts, but the felt sense of care. Like the way you'd speak to a child who's scared, not broken. Say to yourself, "You're safe now. It's okay to be here. I'm not abandoning you again." This isn't ego building. It's reparenting. It's showing up as the awareness that holds your pain without judgment. Over time, this voice becomes familiar. Not the critic, but the witness, the one who sees you and stays. And that changes everything. Because you're not just silencing the attack, you're replacing it with presence that heals. Let's conclude with reclaiming your self-worth. You've seen the voice. You've stepped back from it. You've felt the pain it activates. And you've anchored yourself in something deeper, quieter, real. This is not about becoming someone new. It's about returning to who you were before the voice told you who to be. Eckhart Tolle said, "You are not the voice in your mind, but the one who is aware of it." That awareness, the quiet, spacious presence behind the noise, that's you. The critic may still echo from time to time, but now you won't confuse its voice for your own. You've broken the spell. You've remembered your worth, and every time you choose presence over attack, you rewrite the story of who you are. So take a breath, come back to your body, and know this: you were never broken, only buried beneath the noise, and now you're free.